Welcome to the Filmistines, the podcast where we discuss all things movies. Join us as we dive deep into the latest releases, revisit classic films, and explore the art of cinema. Whether you're a film fanatic or just love a good flick, we've got you covered. From Hollywood blockbusters to indie gems, we'll be breaking down the storytelling, the cinematography, and everything in between. So grab some popcorn, sit back, and get ready for some cinematic magic. If you like what you hear, please consider subscribing to our Patreon. We offer tiers at the $1, $5, and $20 level, where the $20 tier grants the ability to request films for future episodes. How cool is that?
It's pretty cool.
This is the Filmistines, where movies are more than just entertainment, they're an experience.
They're an experience.
All around you. Welcome back to the Filmistines. This is going to be a great episode today, you guys. You have no idea what's about to hit you, other than John Wick's fists. I'm joined today by my fist-pumping, motorcycle-riding, pencil-stabbing, eye-seeing, but not very well friend, Lucy.
Hello, everyone.
Are you excited?
I'm excited. I was excited when this first got announced, and we had just watched all the John Wick movies, because I'd never seen them before, so.
We marathoned them a couple months back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, 3. With, of course, 1 being my favorite. That's why I made you watch it. I really just wanted you to watch the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really care about the other two, to be honest. They're not nearly as good.
Yeah.
Do you agree? I don't know.
Oh, yes. The first one is amazing.
Yeah. And then, I can't remember which one's which, 2 or 3, where the deaf girl, played by that annoying-ass bitch from Batgirl.
Ruby Rose? Is that her?
That's Ruby Rose.
Okay.
Yeah, Ruby Rose sucks, especially in everything. That was 2, you said?
Yeah, that was John Wick 2.
Yeah, so 2 is 2's completely pointless. But this episode is probably gonna be the funnest episode of the year.
The funnest episode of the year.
John Wick 4.
You mean Von Vic
Von Vic Poor. If you listen to the most recent episode on Missing, go check that out at patreon.com/filmistines. You'll know that this was in the oven.
It was cooking.
This one was cooking, and it cooked, and it was perfectly done.
Ah, I was going to say it was burned. It was crisp, not burned in a bad way.
This is one of those things where you order like Hello Mates or whatever, and you see it on TV, and it's like a beautiful looking meal, and you're like, when I order that, it's not gonna look like that.
Yeah.
But this does.
Yeah.
This did look like that.
Agreed.
So of course the episode's on John Wick Chapter 4. They got rid of the stupid. Well, I take that back. It wasn't stupid. The John Wick 3 Parabellum thing. I wish they would have stuck with the chapters all the way through. Chapter 2, 3, 4, 5, or 4. We're on 4.
It's not called Chapter 4?
This one is. The other ones are not.
Oh, okay.
Which I hate the inconsistency. I wish that we had some continuity there in the naming. I think that's slick and thoughtful and just kind of classy, It doesn't feel corporate at all, when you do something like that. Unless you go too far, I guess. If you do chapter 10, 11, 12, then it starts to feel like, all right, this is just a product. All of a sudden, like Final Fantasy. I just wanted to start off this podcast by saying that this movie is awesome. And it's as good as Chapter 1.
Yeah?
What do you think? What are your high-level thoughts?
No, this movie was... Even the word badass doesn't give it enough justice. This movie was... It was awesome. It was... If you wanted fighting scenes, you got them plus more. If you wanted, cool car chases, you got that plus more. You wanted dogs, you got dogs plus more dogs. You wanted your classic John Wick, silence and fighting. You got that. It was pretty great. I think it is a bit different from the first one. So I don't know if I can really compare them, but they were both awesome.
Yeah, I think it's 100% different from the first one, because the first one could have been a standalone movie very easily, and about this man who just can't escape, a past life and just wants to retire, and it's just a real, melancholic kind of thing about the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention it's real blue and dark, right? So
Yeah.
it kind of has a hard time not avoiding. It's raining a lot, and he's limping the whole time and getting the shit beat out of him like
Yep.
Undertaker constantly. And it's just a sad, sad movie all the way through. And they immediately kind of take that in a different direction with 2, 3, and now 4.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie is definitely more in line with 2, 3, and 4. Even more so in line with 3, but goes in a much better, smarter angle, I think. Yeah, I'm just going to say 2 is pointless. Tell me what is the point of 2? It's like just trial 1 for him to get his freedom by trusting someone in the table. It's like, and then just where that goes, takes him to Italy, kills the sister, and yada, yada, yada. It's just like, at the time, it's okay. But now, that being between 1, 3, and now 4, it's just, because 3 is more or less that aftermath of just 1, him killing within continental grounds.
Mm-hmm.
And already being excommunicado, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like, what even... it introduced, like, the table, I guess, and, like, the power and how it globalized it is. But it's just so fucking stupid. I hate it. It's such a low point, and I just wanted to say that. Because I didn't expect this movie to be even better than the third one. The third one's pretty good. It's not great, but it's pretty good. It's very good, I should say. The third one is very good, especially just from an action standpoint and cinematic experience.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. From a cinematic experience, 3 is very good. From a choreographed point of view, they're all amazing. You can't. This, has set the bar on choreography and film just so impossibly high. It's unbelievable. But yes, I think 4 is amazing. Like in the same kind of amazing way that I felt around Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
So there's 2 things in a movie that kind of are the movie, but are not. Like they're kind of in the background of the movie. If it's done right, you can kind of, it won't bother you, right? That's one. The music is one, the score, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so this movie is all about its score. Doesn't have much going on as far as the score. There's not a lot of different beats and stuff. But oh my god, that score just screamed, kind of synthy horror. I just wondered why. It reminded me of Saw, right? First and foremost, because the Saw soundtrack is so iconic for people who are in the loop, right? So I looked into that.
Mm-hmm.
And specifically, I guess this one, the first 3, I feel like don't tap into it quite as much, which is definitely a play. It's kind of really a fun meta thing, I think. There's a play on him being the boogeyman here, and an even deeper play of him being the boogeyman. And the composer is a composer who worked with none other than Rob Zombie. They both worked on some of the more recent Halloween movies with Michael Myers, and only one of the most iconic like monster themes of anyone. So I was just like, it's just like, oh my god, like I can hear it 100%. It's almost plagiarism. It's just like but it's crazy because it's not. It's it's its own spin because it sounds kind of in between maybe Saw and Halloween with definitely its own kind of spin.
Yeah, I don't know if I got some of those vibes. Maybe I'm not too familiar with, the Halloween kind of music, soundtrack, whatever. But I can definitely see it. Kind of like a EDM mixed with that, whatever you called it, horror. I guess you didn't call it horror. What did you call it?
The synth horror.
Synth horror. Yeah. You did call it that. Yeah. So I can definitely see that. I like that they included quite a few French artists in the movie, especially because how much of the movie took place in Paris? I know they were in New York for a bit, Berlin, and Japan.
Yeah, so probably the last third took place in France.
Paris, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I thought that was cool. That was cool to include that.
Very cool, yeah.
But definitely when they were in Japan was my favorite soundtrack score.
Yeah, I liked it when they first arrived. they had that ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding,
I
you know,
think you even said, what is this, Tokyo Drift
Yeah.
or whatever.
I don't know
That
what
made me
that
laugh.
is. It was a little more. It was digitally created. It didn't
Uh-huh.
sound like an actual cowbell or whatever they use
Yeah.
in Tokyo Drift. But I was just like, this must be like a traditional thing in Japanese music
That they,
that is included.
Yeah. I mean, I liked it. It got my
Because
head
there's
bopping,
too big of
so-
a separation between those two movies for that to be a fucking coincidence, for that to be related. You know what I mean? It has to be. There's no inspiration from fucking Fast and Furious and John Wick. I'm sorry. I don't care how cool the car scenes are in Fast and Furious. Although I'm sure they're not very cool because it's fucking Fast and Furious with Vin Diesel and The Rock and John Cena.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I before they went to New York, they, as in Winston and Sharon, met up with the Marquis.
Yeah.
Right? What do you think about that scene? It kind of set the whole movie in motion.
Yeah, it did. One of the, I guess, most noticeable things about that scene was the lighting, which I don't know how I felt about it because the sun was there the whole time, making everything kind of sunny but gloomy. And then you had this sand, what's it called? Hourglass. I guess set to 1 hour or whatever it was. Who knows?
Whatever the Marquis
knows?
thought.
Yeah.
Whatever he felt, really. I don't believe that was 1 hour. I don't trust this dude at all.
For sure.
Yeah.
That was 5 minutes. And, I mean, it was a cool scene. You have a big kill moment right there, which is, oh my god, what the fuck?
Did you see it coming?
No.
They set it up right there 5 minutes before. Because remember, right before they left, he was like, the Marquis is he's our judge, our jury. And then that's when I said executioner. He didn't say anything, and you looked at me all funny. And then when they're walking up to the Marquis, they're talking about what this guy said when he was being executed.
Right.
And the guy who was being executed said, "Such is life." That was his last words. Right. And right before they walked in the door, Sharon says,
"You're
such
not
is
dying."
life.
Oh,
no, he says, "You're not dying." And
yeah,
then,
he said, "You're not dying."
Yeah, you're not dying today.
To Winston.
Yeah. And then he says, "Such is life." He told us right there that he knew walking in the door.
Well, okay, I interpreted that as, "You're not dying, Winston. Obviously, I'm not dying. Such is life. Haha, let's get on with this." Then he fucking gets killed, and I'm just over there all sad now.
Yeah, him getting killed was so awesome because he got shot in the chest, and I don't know if you saw his face when he died. It looked like the breath got knocked out of him. It was such a good performance just in that moment. It was so good. And like he's a black guy, Lance Reddick. Rest in peace, Oh my God.
That's right.
We're gonna miss him. I can't believe he died in the movie and then died in real life. That's kind of ironic, but I can't. I hate that we had to lose him because everyone and I don't know what he's especially known for other than Chiron from John Wick, but he's also a main character in Destiny and the Horizon series, so he's gonna be severely missed. But like his when he gets shot, he's like, ugh, and then it just his that face when you get the breath knocked out of you. It was just so, and then his eyes, because he's kind of dark. The scene was kind of dark facing him, and then he's also dark, so his eyes just getting real wide and stuff were just so, it was intense, a very intense moment.
Yeah,
it's really cool. I really liked that.
And
that death
when the Marquis, or is that his name, Marquis?
I think he is. It's he is a Marquis.
So that's
he's the management thing. Talk to the manager. He's the manager of managers.
Okay.
I guess.
I'm just gonna call him Marquis.
You can call him the Marquis.
The Marquis.
Yeah.
He was pointing the gun at Winston. He's like, "You don't need your concierge or whatever." And I was like, "What? What does that mean?" And then bam, he turns around and shoots him.
Awesome.
I was like, "Oh, that's what you meant."
Yeah. I did want to. There are a couple quotes I liked by him. Of course, when he says second chances are for the refuge of men who fail.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a great line.
I guess.
And then the sand in that glass is I can't read my writing. The sand in that glass is merely an echo of my remaining patience.
Oh,
great,
yeah.
Great line.
That was a good line. That was a good line.
But more importantly, his body language, which is of no surprise because we all know who. I think that's Bill Skarsgård. We all know who he plays.
Who?
Pennywise.
What?
And he's also in Barbarian. Remember at the beginning of Barbarian, the Airbnb movie where the girl comes in.
Yeah.
That's him too. Yeah, he plays Pennywise, so of course he's got to have like crazy body language in his face and stuff.
I didn't
and
even know.
it's nuts here too, especially when Sharon's like, "May I say something?" Such a great performance. He plays a really cool bad guy because he's just like,
he's got that intensity.
Yeah, he
definitely does.
It's good stuff. I liked him a lot.
I liked in that scene where the sand was coming down from the hourglass and he was putting the sugar in his coffee cup as like the sand was going. He was pouring. Like he didn't give a shit about the time.
Yeah,
it was fun. And then he twirled it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah, that was almost like a very Lynchian moment.
Yeah,
because it was building that like this awkwardness.
And then he licked the spoon, all like kind of seductive, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this guy!"
Yeah, it's like at what Winston said at the very end. He's how arrogant he is. It's just
intro.
He owns this character, man. In the first John Wick, I liked the duo of bad guys there. It was Reek from Game of Thrones. I don't remember the actor's name there. And then his dad, of course.
Yeah.
The Russian dudes. They're like their whole exchange and then the exchanges between them and John Wick and stuff are, just as good for different reasons. That's more of you can feel the fear between everyone there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really fucking good. And then here, oh my God, dude, just he's the star of the movie, I think, as far as performance goes.
Really?
I think so. I think there are some big contenders here. Of course, John Wick Keanu Reeves owns being John Wick. He's just so fucking bizarre in the way he does everything. And then, of course, Donnie Yen, who plays Ip Man, and here he plays Kane.
Yeah.
He's great. His best exchanges are between him and John Wick, of course. And then Winston's pretty good. Winston's never really kind of stuck out to me. Sharon was always good, but he was always kind of really minor. But yeah, that intro scene is awesome. It's awesome. I can't believe how good that was, and then how good the rest of the movie stays.
Mm-hmm. No, I completely agree. Great intro to his character.
It's risky business, man. Introducing, I think he is briefly in the third one where he's mentioned.
I don't remember.
So there's a little bit of, I think I saw that. I'm not too sure. I don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
So for all intents and purposes, he might as well be a completely brand new character, the Marquis. But it's I would say pretty risky to bring someone like that in the fourth movie. That's a big deal. That's a lot of weight to carry. He needs to not only compete against these other bad guys and being more menacing, but he does need to battle John Wick on some level. And I can't get over how excellent Bill Skarsgård was. Oh yeah, his name is Marquis Vince. He's so powerful that he's the Marquis.
Oh shit.
As far as risky moves go, another super risky move, I think, is bringing in Donnie Yen, Kane's character. Kane, the blind guy.
Yeah. Because
you start to run into this Expendables type situation. Bringing in these badasses from other movies and stuff. They're not the same character, but they are, they're still like badasses, right? You expect, when you see The Rock or...
You expect the movie to suck.
Yeah, expect movie, but you expect that character to be like a badass and like to do
right
badass and whatever. And so it's you and when you start putting those together, those badasses, you get a movie called The Expendables. Have you heard of that?
I've heard of it, never seen it.
It's for all these old bad guys, not old bad guys, all these old badasses like your Terminator guy, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Rambo, those guys, those old guys.
Yeah.
Maybe Harrison Ford. I don't even know. I don't even know. But I just know those movies suck. I've seen the first one. I just don't know anything about it. I can't remember. But just that sounds like a terrible fucking idea. Is that just me? That sounds like a terrible idea.
It sounds like a great idea on paper, but something that will not translate.
Yeah.
Well,
because you have all these competing characters. Like you don't want your characters to compete for what and who they are on the screen. You can't have 2 John Wicks.
Yeah.
We started to get 2 John Wicks with him and Mr. Nobody. There's a kind of a 2 John Wick thing happening there.
I mean 3, really, with Kane, I think, and we can kind of see that at that poker table.
Sure, and you're right. They do kind of own that in a way. Actually, now that you say that, I guess the self-awareness makes it pretty cool. Actually,
yeah, maybe that's what the Expandables needed.
Expandables?
What is it?
Expendables.
Expendables. Expand.
They got expanding muscles. Terry Crews was in one of those. You know him?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like John Cena might have been in
he's
one.
He's in White Chicks.
Yeah, he's also in Everybody Hates Chris.
Yeah, but he's in White Chicks.
That's his best show.
That's the second guy in White Chicks.
That's so funny. I don't know why White Chicks is your
I think I saw
touchstone.
That movie way too many times.
Apparently.
I think we had it on
That's
DVD.
a Wayans Brothers movie? Is that what?
I don't know.
You don't even know? I think it is.
I mean, they are in the film. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant if they made the film. Okay,
if they're in it, it's theirs.
They're in it.
Yeah. That's funny.
They're the White Chicks. Yeah.
That's right. I haven't seen it in so long.
Because
when you see the thumbnail, it's them dressed up as white chicks. So I don't fucking know,
We gotta watch it.
Yeah, we can watch it.
Okay.
So you can kind of see my hesitation to bring in someone like Ip Man from Ip Man into the John Wick, fold. There is a high probability of this turning me off. But they make this character blind, first of all. They make him fucking just so compassionate and loving and friendly and just not wanting to do this. He wants to take care of he wants to reconnect with his daughter that he hasn't seen for how God knows how fucking long.
Yeah.
Right? He loves John Wick. I want to know more about that. What is this relationship they had? I want to see him give his eyeballs up. His eyesight. I guess he still had his eyeballs. They built this character up, and they did it in 2 different lanes. They built up these characters who had the potential of having no fucking business being in these movies. In this movie. Bill Skarsgård's character and Marquis and Kane. And they nailed both of them. Sure, the movie was 3 hours, almost, so they had some time to deliver.
That's true.
But unlike the second movie, they knew exactly where this movie was fucking going.
I mean, yeah, and even with the time, you take away all the fighting scenes, that's an hour movie, hour and a half movie. So they still had the same amount of time all the other movies have for character development. So they did an amazing job. But I definitely agree that we have these badass characters. And I don't know if I can completely agree with you that putting all of them together would make the movie not be as great as it was.
Well, I think it's just incredibly hard to do. Okay. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can't...
To me, it sounds like I want to put all these badass people in the same movie for sure.
Yeah.
But it does sound like it could get bad quickly.
Because I say that just because I don't want my characters to compete for their personality and who they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess that is the difference. They all have completely different personalities.
Yeah, and they could have. I mean, like, I think the closest is Mr. Nobody and John Wick. I think they run most parallel to each other.
I don't know if I agree with that.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I mean, their motives are different. That's for sure.
We know at least about Mr. Nobody, of course. So that mystery helps keep him apart from John Wick because we know what John Wick's all about, He's a simple man, but we know everything about John Wick.
Yeah.
And we start to know just about everything we need to know about Kane.
Right.
Mr. Nobody, his motives are different.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even know his name.
We don't even know his name. They keep him a big mystery man.
Okay.
I wonder if that was a call at the movie Mr. Nobody, or maybe it was just called Nobody. That's a John Wick ripoff.
Ah.
It's actually okay. Surprisingly,
Mhm.
it's actually not. It's not terrible. It's okay. I wouldn't. It's good. It's good. As far as normal action movies go, it's good. Next to John Wick 1 and 4, it's
Nothing.
not worth their time. But it's got some cool sequences and stuff. The main character in that is Saul from Breaking Bad.
Okay.
So it's kind of interesting in that way too, because he's very middle-aged feeling. And so he's like a crazy ass fighter like John Wick, and it's just kind of funny in that way. I wouldn't say John Wick's a funny movie. It's got some funny parts, but Nobody or Mr. Nobody, whatever it's called, is, I think, more of a comedy, but a serious comedy, dramedy. I didn't invent that.
Well, talking about characters, I really liked Koji. Koji, is that his name? He was pretty cool. It sucks that he died pretty early on, but one of my favorite dialogues was between him and Kane, when they were asking each other how they were, and then they started asking each other, well, how's Mia, your daughter? And he's like, oh, she's good. How's your daughter? And kind of concern for each other's daughters, but also still kind of threatening, where's your daughter at? No, where's your daughter at? But also protecting their families, which is what, Kane's all about, protecting his daughter.
Yeah.
So that was just cool little exchange there.
Having kids in this world is dangerous business, because if you fuck up, your kids are fucked too,
Consequences. Yeah, you're on your kids. Jesus.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Yeah, I have a couple of quotes I liked from Koji a lot. Of course, he's the wise old Japanese guy, right?
Of
so
course.
He's gonna have fucking something to say. Friendship means little when it's convenient.
I have that written down too.
A legendary quote. I don't know if that's
Yes.
stolen from something, from some writing or something. That sounds like something that could definitely be in some 1940s Japanese existentialism, but legendary quote. And then fools talk, cowards are silent, but wise men listen.
Yep.
Excellent quote. Definitely not incredibly original, but his whole politeness is just off the fucking chain.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he's asking for the guns, he says, hand over the guns,
Yeah.
please. And his hands just like kind of nonchalantly out. And it's fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And then it's one of my favorite like transitions from scene. Like it's not a transition from scene to scene, but it's kind of a transition of mood, is when he turns the lights out and everything goes green.
Yeah.
And so I think that's our first monochromatic scene.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just fucking awesome. I think it's got, from shot to shot, it is 100% monochromatic, but there is a few shots littered throughout, which is so fucking cool. There's little kisses of red throughout and stuff, and it's so fucking cool. And But even before this, like you were saying, that one shot was very, in the intro when they were talking to the marquee, is very orange, and then almost everything between these interesting shots is teal and orange. It's fucking cool. And I know that's often associated with science fiction right now.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure where that started to take off, but I'm just gonna say John Wick owns that color palette now. I don't remember the color palette of 2 or 3 off the top of my head. It didn't stick out like this one did. They had too much fun with this one. It's just out of this world. This is a movie. If I was running a color theory class in film, this is probably one of the greatest examples of the last 20 years. This and La La Land, I'm sure there's several others, of course, but this is fucking unbelievable. Yeah. And that first green, monochromatic green one is just blows me away.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. And there in that same bit, we have the scene where John Wick comes in and he's talking to Koji, and he's in that fucking awkward ass stance.
I know, it looks like
and there's that what is it, the cherry blossom?
Yeah, the cherry blossom.
And like that, even the cherry blossom
the sakura.
had beautiful colors. What'd you say?
The sakura.
The sakura, is that what it? And John Wick just standing there all awkwardly badass.
He looked like a album cover.
Yes, he did. And I mean, that was cool. I liked the colors there too. A lot.
That was probably the most red and blue bit actually at the top of that building there.
Yeah.
In Osaka.
Yeah.
And that's where we're introduced to John and Kane's relationship. Their first little battle. First, not really little, I guess, because it's fucking wild. What do you think of that?
I thought it was a cool fighting scene. I definitely wish they would have played a little bit more into his blindness. I know they did a bit, especially when John was laying there silent, trying to figure out what to do next. And then Kane was like, "John, are you dead?" And then silence. And like, you could tell he didn't know how to feel about that. I'm sure it's, a fucking complicated thing to process, killing one of your friends, but you're also saving your daughter and yourself. So I like that. I wish they would have played a little more into the blindness though.
Yeah, like
that's just for me, for a funny sake.
Yeah, no, I get that for sure. I will say that when he was on the ground, that was the only time I feel like John Wick wasn't sure how to approach the situation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Which was really kind of cool. Yeah, the blindness thing is funny because it's, I guess, especially funny when you're getting shot at by arrows and guns and stuff. But, because, like, how do you navigate around that? But the whole, I can just see, I mean, I'm not a professional fighter or a master fighter. I'm not Goku. I can't just feel the movements in the air and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But there seems to be, some truth to that when you watch people fucking fight on YouTube and stuff. Master fighters. So I just don't even know. It's like not even unbelievable that he can do these things while being blind. With the exception of dodging bullets and whatnot and stuff. But it's, I could have seen them playing up his blindness a little bit more. Although they did every chance they could get with him tapping stuff.
That's true.
Which may not be exactly what you're looking for, because you're looking, because like one of the funniest, it wasn't funny, but one of the, I guess the earliest example of his blindness was when he's about to pick up the invitation,
the card,
and he smacked the tray, which is just, it's awesome.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
That was funny.
Great texture. And then you could probably easily miss him smacking stuff with his cane.
That's true.
His cane. His name is Kane.
Oh my god. But yeah, I was gonna bring up that scene where he smacks the tray that had the nameplate, I guess John's name on it, and I just thought it was so thoughtful that they gave it to him in Braille. And then when he
feels
reads it,
yeah,
I guess. Is it still reading? Yeah, it's still reading.
Yeah.
And he's gliding his hand over it. We see Wick backwards, and I was like, this motherfucker read this backwards. I just thought that was so funny.
Yeah, that was awesome
and pretty clever.
That was awesome. I liked that a lot. Yeah, I wonder if they took more than one shot of that, or more than one take of that, where he read it forward. But I wonder how that read when you watched it, when you watched that sequence of things happen, because I really liked that. That stuck out to me, and I liked that a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, the fight between John Wick and Kane in the Osaka building was at times also monochromatic with the blue, which was pretty cool. And then of course, all of the armor and shit in there, all the decoration and stuff was very orange. And so of course we got our teal and orange thing going on again.
Yep.
Which is just littered at every second of this movie. And I mean that towards the end of the Osaka sequence is probably the coolest kill in the movie, right? When Akira gets on the back of that guy.
Oh my god, yes. That was awesome. This dude is on his, knees and arms, climbing the stairs, and she's on his back, stabbing him while she's climbing, and he's climbing. And it was so cool. It was so cool.
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
It put her right where she needed to be, so you didn't, you weren't annoyed by her or anything.
Yep.
Because she's one of these characters, they kind of put a lot of time on her. Because Koji's, he's the Winston of Osaka, so he's in with us immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But his kid, Akira, she's got to earn us. She's got to earn the audience's, appreciation and love and stuff. And
yep. Her
fighting, does that. And then her bow shooting through guys into the concrete and stuff just adds into that too. And it's just she ended up being pretty cool. Minus her haircut, of course.
Oh my gosh, that bugged me so much. I couldn't focus on some stuff because I was just looking at her bangs.
Yeah, I was too.
What was up with that?
I was looking nothing but at her bangs. That's funny. And this was she was in the most awkward bit of the whole movie, I think. And it's when she got shot. Oh, she was walking down those stairs and then boom, she gets shot. Just like, what the fuck was that? That was so bad. That was terrible. That was like the shittiest thing I've ever seen in a fucking movie. She just went through all of that and she gets shot in the shoulder by some fucking stray bullet. No, sir. Stupid. And what is it? What's the payoff for that? Just so she can't help her dad fight the blind guy and not get killed right then. Just like that was she. What?
Yeah, I mean the blind Kane would tell her to leave anyway, whether she was hurt or not.
Yeah.
Not now. Our time to fight's not now.
I didn't like that at all. That was
that was
now fucking bizarre.
Yeah, now that you say it, it is weird because she's a badass, obviously. She just climbed the stairs with this dude, fucking stabbing him. I mean, she's obviously a badass.
Yeah, her guard's not gonna be off.
Yeah,
for
that
those
is
seconds.
Weird. You're right.
Yeah, that was weird,
and it's unnecessary
and completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. I would have preferred her to fall down the stairs out of clumsiness or something. Yeah. Or stab herself on accident or something. I thought that was really silly. I didn't like that at all.
I did like all the fighting scenes in that whole entire Osaka continental
sequence.
They were all, from the beginning to the end, were all pretty cool fighting scenes.
Yeah.
I did feel like it was a bit of a sensory overload. I mean, me as the watcher, I can get over that. But I could just imagine for the actors, fighters. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kudos to them for being able to handle fighting in a place like that with that much going on. And, I don't know too much about what goes in post-production versus what they're actually filming. So maybe a lot of that stuff I'm seeing, they're not actually seeing. But even then, Jesus, I was getting very overwhelmed. But it was so cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much of that was, accentuated in post.
Yeah.
Or how much of it was real. I don't know how much CG was in this. I didn't. Other than the dog getting hit, that was obviously CG.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked weird. And that dog probably would have been killed in real life. So of course it needs to be CG. It did look a little weird because he, at the close to the end, I'm talking about, he just bounced off weird. It's just another, it's just CG just looks weird.
Yeah.
But I did want to say something about the editing and the cuts that happen during a fight. And there's a few things I don't like here and there. That's just gonna happen by nature of what's happening on screen because they're fucking nuts, right?
Right.
And it's more so when John Wick or whoever is fighting the same guy for a few seconds, and it's not just kill. He's like having to fight this guy down and then kill. You know what I mean? That's when the edits, the cuts start to have the potential to be. I mean, they have the potential to be fucked up at any point. But when you're focusing too much on like these angles, trying to get around these guys, so you can. Because if you would notice, he'd be fighting the guy, and then he would throw the guy in such a way that he would land right in front of the camera. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. They're trying to get good angles on what's about to happen and everything. So you can kind of... And so occasionally, they would cut, like, real quick. Like, it would 2 seconds here, and then it'd cut. And that was real. Those are... If your little clip is only 2 or 3 seconds, you gotta figure out a way to not include that. That needs to either be tacked on and not cut at all, or just not in the movie at all. Because it's just that kind of shit is jarring. Because you gotta like refigure out what's happening. It may only take, if the movie is really smart, like this one is, it may only take a 10th of a second to reorient yourself. That's how you know it's a good movie, right? Good editing is when you can be on one side of the guy and then completely 180 on the other side. And you there's just no thought. You just know exactly where you are in time and space. Yeah. Well, I guess just space in that, in this scenario. But that's awesome when that can happen, and that happens 99% of the time here. But there were a couple times that there was just so quick that it's just you like it looks like he's fighting the other guy now, but now he's fighting the same guy or something like that.
Oh.
And there's this movie's not an offender of that, but so many movies are.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to pull off fighting scenes sometimes.
Absolutely, especially when they're choreographed in such a fucking elaborate way. These movies are unfucking believable to watch. It's just performance art It's just performance art constantly on screen. It's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, I guess literally it's performance art because it's a movie, but the choreography itself is just unfucking believable.
Yeah.
And John Wick, he loves doing that, acrobatic kind of wrestling thing where he's like twirling around these guys trying to get them on the ground and like get them in a chokehold or stab them in the neck or something. Yeah. It's fucking hilarious because, he's not, he's not Spry Chicken anymore, but he's still trying to climb around these guys like Rey Mysterio. It's fucking awesome. I guess Rey Mysterio is not a spring chicken anymore either. Still better than his son. Got him.
Got him.
Yeah, from what I've seen, I'm not a fan of Dominic Mysterio. That's his name.
That's his name?
Yeah.
Oh. I love how when the bad guys are down, he still shoots them in the head. Because if I were a bad guy, I would definitely pretend to play dead.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
John Wick ain't about to let me live.
Nope. That dude he's not letting you live.
And a lot of times, I mean, in, fighting movies, thriller movies, these kinds of movies, they don't take the extra time to make sure your enemy is dead. But John Wick does.
John Wick does.
So it was just a little funny thing I noticed that definitely wouldn't work for me if I were to play dead.
It's almost kind of another fun pull at a horror movie. In that you make, especially like zombies, you make sure they're dead.
Yes.
You double tap them.
Exactly.
And there's this weird element of horror happening here that's not in a scary sense, but just like they're just reminding you from some angle that John Wick is the boogeyman. He's the Baba Yaga.
It is scary. I would be scared.
Yeah, it's a horror movie for the guys on the Marquis side for sure.
I'd be like, oh shit, I can't even pretend.
It's fucking awesome. So the next sequence, small little sequence after the Osaka sequence, or the Osaka Continental sequence, is John Wick and Akira on the subway.
Oh, yeah.
And it's real quick, and I can't remember exactly what they said. It's not meaningless, but this fucking sequence goes from monochromatic orange to the orange and teal constantly, and it's fucking insane. It is the most insane thing I've ever seen on TV ever. I didn't know. I remember we talked about in the Scream
Yes. In the subway?
The Scream episode when they were in the subway and there was like this like hyper naturalistic kind of thing happening in the subway with the lights flickering like crazy.
Yeah, and I didn't like that.
And you can imagine that probably does happen to some degree on a subway. That's like a it's,
probably.
kind of a stereotype. But in Scream, it was happening like crazy. It's just like, it was kind of a fun, accentuated or exaggerated.
In John Wick.
No, in Scream like that. And so I didn't know I liked things happening on subways. That's what I'm kidding at. Because this oh man, it was nuts. Because it was kind of a similar thing where the overhead lights were the teal lights.
Yeah.
And when they went out, it would just be orange and they come back on and then there would be teal, not just in the lights, but in the seats.
In the seats, yeah.
And on the posters, you're like, holy shit, there's like actual blue and then the lights go out or whatever and then everything's orange and then those teal things turn black and because they're dark, they're blue, and it's so sick. It's so sick. I was losing my fucking mind when I was seeing that. I don't even know what happened in the subway because I was looking at the lights.
That's funny. It was okay. It was too much for me. Who has that much fun in a subway ride? That's what I got out of it. Who has these crazy, orange teal subway rides? You're in a rave. I don't know. Way too much for me. But I guess that was where she was like, if you don't kill Kane, I will. That's what that was. How could you let it happen? Why did you even show up here?
Yeah.
You knew you were going to get my dad killed.
Yeah.
Which is a big build up for what happens.
Yeah. I guess back to, just for a split second, back to the Osaka Continental fight between Koji and Kane when he was like, I don't know, was Koji letting his honor get the best of him?
What do you mean?
In that he thought Kane was going against his nature and his oaths, that he needed to basically teach him a lesson by killing him, but teach him a lesson. I guess that felt like an honor problem, which is fun, I guess, because he's Japanese.
I would agree, yeah. And then Kane had the audacity to say, protect your daughter. And then Koji was like, motherfucker, that's what I'm doing. And then he goes and tries to get him again. So, definitely felt like a video game scene there. Video game fight for honor.
Video game, you think? Or I think traditional fighting, just period.
They're on a bridge, so I thought that was kind of funny. How many people fight on a bridge?
Were they on a bridge?
Yeah. I
felt like that was the top of another building. Which I guess it could have been. It still could be a bridge up there.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was a little bridge.
Yeah, there's nothing, as far as fighting goes, there's nothing more interesting than fighting to teach someone a lesson. And so I think that's inherently kind of an honorable thing. That's why we need to watch some Akira Kurosawa samurai films. Because they're all about character. And how things drive men to do certain things.
So what was up with that scene where the Marquis is talking to his henchmen and then there's horses? It looks like it's girls sword fighting on horses while they're like running around him. What was up with that? Did they already rent the horses for the beginning of the movie and they were like, well, where else can we put them?
Yeah, I guess first and foremost that was another flex of their color control because we had a monochromatic dark orange.
Right, we get it.
Yeah. Which is awesome. Of course, it's awesome. Well, I guess he likes the ranch because they're at that place twice when Mr. Nobody shows up. They're at the ranch place.
That's right.
And so it's kind of hard to tell because that place, the first setting that he's at looks very, royalty and whatever. It's the other one's like kind of a corridor and is not so obviously a fucking mansion or whatever. Yeah, I don't. What do they talk about?
I don't even remember. I was too busy watching the horses just twirl around and the people fighting with their swords. I'm like, what is...
Maybe that's an example of
this?
Letting the spectacle of their craft get out of control a little bit. I can't remember exactly what they were talking about. That may be important, but if it wasn't, that might come off a little Like, okay, we get it. You guys are masters of lighting, which they are. It's unfucking believable. I've never seen anything like this movie, and it just gets crazier and crazier and crazier with the lights. Well, other than the subway light, that was probably the craziest as far as like just cool transition from monochromatic to complementary. But it gets more ambitious as we go further because we eventually end up in Berlin, where they're running through the club, another club. John Wick loves running through fucking clubs. So I guess it's a great place to kill people at because other people just don't know what's going on. They're high.
They're definitely on something. They're on several things.
They're on several things, yeah.
Yeah.
And then when their bad trip kicks in, then it doesn't really matter what you're doing. It's probably just the fact that you guys are, being aggressive. You guys could be yelling at each other and that'd be just as effective. It'd be just as scary to them. But when their bad trip kicks in, they're fucking terrified. That was funny when this kicked in. I couldn't stop looking at them. People in the background. That was awesome.
That was my second favorite scene. The fight in the club. I guess it wasn't rain. It was a waterfall. Yeah, he thought it was rain until John Wick held the penguin look-alike under it, and it was beaten. You know what I'm talking about, penguin? Yes! Yeah. That's hilarious.
Isn't that funny?
I was picturing some kind of villain from the Ninja Turtles.
That's funny. I liked him. Yeah. I liked his body type. I liked his personality. He reminded me of a cartoon character for sure.
Killa, I think that's his name.
Killa, okay.
Yeah, but I loved second favorite scene. I love that fighting scene. Yeah. It was awesome.
That was super cool. Super fucking cool. And I thought, so I think the lowest point of this movie was right before that with the Roman Ruska. The Ruska Roma.
Yeah.
Are they Romanian? Is that what that is? Roma? I'm not sure.
Roma is Rome.
It's spelled Roma, and they're definitely not Italian.
So maybe. Ruska sounds Russian?
Sounds Eastern European. That's what I was thinking.
I mean, yeah. Okay.
So, Russian maybe, but I didn't get the feeling that he was... I feel like that would have come up in the first movie because the bad guys were Russian. I feel like there would have been something there.
I mean...
But I'm not...
Yeah, I don't know.
Sure, I really don't know. And then they have that gypsy thing going on with the beatnik kind of look, and it's cool.
Yeah.
I think that whole sequence was the lowest point of the movie. Not contextually, because I liked that there was like this second chance kind of thing to reinstate his familyship, his
crest,
his kinship.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool and very, I don't want to say Japanese necessarily, but kind of very like prove yourself and we'll think about it, or just prove yourself with this task and you can earn it back.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I liked that. That was super cool. Felt very old school.
Well, in that same scene, let's talk about the fucking weirdo Klaus.
Klaus. I'm
yeah,
Klaus.
Yeah. I am Klaus. I am Klaus.
Where the fuck did he come from?
So, you ready for this?
Okay.
Apparently, he's a very well-known bouncer at a super famous club in Berlin.
Oh.
Like, super famous. I read somewhere that he wouldn't let like Elon Musk into the club. Like, this is a hella famous club. And he's here in John Wick 4 pretending to be Klaus.
That's fucking weird.
So, isn't that weird?
That's cool as fuck. What a weird thing to get. For him to get involved in, for one, and then also for them to reach out to him. Is he in anything else?
No, I don't think so. No,
that's
not
fucking
what
weird.
I could find.
That's
yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. Was that girl Tonks?
Oh, I didn't look. Let me look real quick. But that guy gave me very, Hodor.
Hodor, yeah,
vibes.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, so that lady by the name of Katya, I don't know her relation to John Wick. They're in the same family, but I'm not sure if she's like a aunt or a sister or a cuz. I'm not sure. But yeah, she's Tonks from Harry Potter. That's weird. That's funny.
That is weird.
I thought it was, but I only know her from Harry Potter, you know? I mean, she's not in it much either in the movie.
Yeah, so you said it, and it did look like her.
It was the nose, I think, and the eyebrows. Yeah, I think that part was a little weak for me just because I liked the mission setup. I liked how it felt kind of old and traditional, but I liked Klaus. He was fun. I'm Klaus.
I'm Klaus.
No, you're Negan.
I'm Negan. Oh. Shit.
But there's just something about that I did not like. I'm not sure I can put my finger on it. It's just not...
Did it feel out of place? I mean, we know it's necessary, but...
Yeah, maybe it tonally kind of felt out of place, because maybe there's something to that, saying that, because there's probably not another point in the movie where John feels so helpless. He's being strung up, and like he's surrounded by all these fucking goons, and it just felt, I don't know, it felt a little weird.
Yeah.
It felt a little weird. It didn't feel like it fit, I guess. But again, I liked why he was there. I liked that they sent him on a mission. I especially liked where the mission led him, like where we were, in Berlin. And I liked the whole, when we first saw the big guy, what's his name? Killa? Mm-hmm. So the actor who plays him, his name is Scott Adkins. He's not a big guy.
Oh, so he was in a suit, probably?
He was in a suit.
Oh, that's cool.
He looks a little bit like a cross between the guy from Maroon 5.
What's his name?
Adam Levine.
Yeah.
And someone else, I'm not sure. There's a little bit of... Maybe he just looks like Adam Levine's little brother.
That's funny.
You see it?
Yeah.
A little bit. So, they come up to this guy. He's at a fucking... There's actually something very video game about it, actually, the setup. I think especially when they meet Killa is very video gamey, because he's like in the middle of the room. He's this big guy, big weird looking guy, right? I guess very cartoony. I'm not really video gamey, more cartoony. And he looks like the Penguin from Batman, and he's got these gold teeth. He's got this big personality, and his body shape's weird. I love his body shape. It's so weird.
I know. That's what probably makes it very cartoony.
Yeah. And John Wick sits down, Kane shows up, they bring Mr. Nobody in, and they're sitting at the table, and there is this kind of moment where he says they're all the same for different reasons.
Yeah.
But have different motives or whatever. And I forgot about that. It's really cool. It's really fucking cool. And then, one of the coolest fights break out in the whole movie. It's so fucking cool. This step sequence is very cool. And it's crazy because we're, halfway through the movie at this point, and we're still on this high going up this roller coaster. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. I guess it's worth mentioning because I bitch about it a lot. The pacing of this movie may be, for almost a 3-hour movie, or 2.5, whatever, 240 some change, maybe one of the best paced longer movies I've ever fucking seen. I'm kind of shocked at how on point this is moving along.
Yeah,
especially with all the action sequences. I'm not a fan of action in movies at all, as you might know, as I've told you a couple times.
Yeah, you're okay with them. You're bored.
They're super boring. But there's like he's fighting to a destination. He's not fighting for anything, He's just trying to get his fucking ass to, Abe to B to C. I guess, here and there he's fighting for something. Yes, he's trying to beat up Killa. He's trying to kill Killa, get the trophy to reinstate his, his family contract, whatever. His family ticket.
No, I completely agree with you. I probably base the pacing of a movie based off my boredom anxiety level. And this one gave me no boredom, no anxiety whatsoever. Like Batman. Oh my gosh, Batman. I was just so anxious.
Yeah.
Because that was a long movie and I couldn't get through it. But this movie, I mean, there was no time. It was so exciting.
Yeah.
The whole time. So yeah, very well paced.
Yeah, Batman didn't struggle with it per se, but Batman had to battle and negotiate with setting up its mood, because that movie is all fucking mood with moody ass Batman Robert Pattinson.
How are you gonna struggle to set up a mood if you're already moody?
Well, the movie itself has got to set up the mood. It's not just Robert Pattinson's great performance.
Nah, he's wearing eyeliner. The mood is set.
Maybe for you, but for a normal audience, we need a little bit more. And they go. Do they go overboard with that? I'm not sure, because I feel like Batman is inherently emo as fuck. So I feel like overboard is the moment you've succeeded. You know what I mean? Because emo is in itself so fucking melodramatic and
emotional.
Overboard.
Yeah.
So I think they do an excellent. We need to rewatch Batman.
Okay, maybe
when
maybe
the second one's coming closer.
Yeah, maybe
when the second one's a little closer. Yeah. I don't want to just watch Batman and then watch it again later. You know, I'm not about that. That's not that kind of movie. It's not like The Northman, The Witch, Hereditary. You know, so I can't rewatch that show.
How did Kane know what his cards were? He guessed, that Killa was cheating.
Yeah.
So...
Oh yeah, I forgot. I loved that Killa had 5 twos. That was fucking awesome. That was so cool.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't know. I don't know. Is there a texture to cards that we just don't feel because we're not that
sensitive?
We're not. Yeah, he's built the sensitivity to touch and hear much more than he would if he could see, because he's able to.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Reacclimate. I don't know. It felt like there's something to that. I don't know. That was weird. That was also a little not awkward, quite like Akira getting shot. That was just like a weird.
That was a bad choice.
Inconsistency in character. But this was like.
What are you trying to say here?
Yeah.
Hold up. Excuse me. What? Okay, he's a mind reader. Like.
Oh, and I was gonna look up. John's hand was 2 twos and a random card. Two. What do they call it when you have 2 cards? Two of a kind. My bad. And a random card. He said that's Dead Man's Hand. Is that what it's actually called? Look it up.
Yeah, I have no idea. I was lost during that scene. Not completely lost. Just lost in the game of it.
That's fucking awesome. It is.
Oh.
I love that. How fucking smart is that? The dialogue in this movie is not only smart, but every fucking thing in this movie is smart. What happened in John Wick 2? That movie is not bad by any means.
I mean, it wasn't written by the same person, right?
It was directed by the same guys. The same guy, Chad.
Chapter 4 was written by Shay Hatton and Michael Finch. And then Chapter 2 was written by Derek Kolstad.
Chapter 2 was?
Yeah. Chapter 2 is Derek Kolstad.
Yeah, he did 3 too. It's actually his story.
Okay.
Derek Kolstad. It's his story.
Okay.
His John Wick is his brainchild. So we have a little bit of a disconnect with screenplay writers. Yeah, I don't know about John Wick 2.
I don't remember it well enough to say its significance and any high level thoughts on it. I don't remember it. I'd have to see like a quick recap. But it definitely didn't stick out to me. So that has to at least say something. It's
another one of these movies where the Letterboxd score was just a little too high, a little higher than I thought, what it was going to be. Because John Wick 4 is actually an example of it being way fucking higher than I thought. Because if you look at it, the 4, 4.5, and 5 are all high. And that's just not in line with the rest of the John Wicks. They tend to be 3.7, 3.8, 3.9, like in that boat. I think John Wick 1 might be the highest, which makes sense for people who have any taste. But I came into this movie, not really my arms crossed, not quite like that, because I'm not stubborn with John Wick, right? I don't need to be impressed. I've already been impressed by John Wick. But where could this possibly go to be any better than the first movie?
Yeah.
They did it. The next sequence, that sequence, the Berlin sequence, and then the following sequences are all littered with crazy color. Again, lots of orange and blue, which is cool. Of course, I'm not going to go on and on about that because the subway scene is king in that. But I think we go to Paris after that, right?
Yeah. He gets his family ticket, builds up the contract to duel the Marquis. Winston gives it to him, and then it's Paris time.
And then they have that meeting where they decide on the rules.
That was pretty cool.
Which is super fucking cool.
That was pretty cool.
I like that a lot.
I did too. And I like that they didn't tell us, exactly what was going on and kind of left it up to us to guess. And then you realize what's going on. And you're like, oh my gosh, that's cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that you bring that up because that's just a sign of a director having some fucking faith in their audience.
Yeah, you brought that up probably several times throughout our previous podcasts, how the audience, the directors think the audience is dumb. They don't give us any credit. But this scene
does a good job of displaying what a director can think of an audience. You don't have to be the smartest person in whatever circle to get it, but it's just you could have very easily seen this dumbed down or just like completely explained.
Yes, like the guy, I don't know his name, the main, Santa Claus guy could have explained the rules.
Yeah.
Read it from old textbook explaining the rules. So, yeah.
I liked that. I liked that a lot.
And then after that, it gets crazy.
It gets somehow even crazier. It's because then he goes to like underground waterway system, probably sewage maybe or something. I don't know, and meets up with the homeless king, Winston. He's like, how close can you get me to the church? He does his little Hail Mary thing across his heart or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
And you're like, oh, that must be pretty close. And apparently it's like 30 miles away. Instead, he was blessing John Wick that he hopes he fucking gets there because he can't get him any closer.
He didn't even get him close at all.
So
that was hilarious.
And they put out a big ass bounty on, or not a big ass bounty that has been on him. But I wanted to bring up. I've said it a million times during the movie. How is his bounty not at least 100 million plus at this point? 20 million? Then it became like 25, 30, whatever.
26 at one point.
26, just
weird
like,
ass number.
It's like, what? John Wick's bounty is only 20 million?
I guess to be fair, the second person under him was like 2 million.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that, but no. That would imply that John Wick maybe is only 10 times more deadly.
That's a lot.
No, we need 100 times more deadly. John Wick is fucking unstoppable, man.
You saying that reminds me of I don't know who said it to him. I think it was it Winston? I don't know who said it. Koji. Somebody said it to him. What are you gonna do? I think it was Koji. What are you gonna do? Kill them all? And I was just thinking, like, if anyone can, it's John Wick.
Yeah, I think Koji said that when they were on the roof.
Yeah,
and he was like, "I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna kill them all."
Yo.
He's like impossible to impersonate. He's got such a weird ass cadence about him. It's so weird. If he was anyone else, that would be. I don't know if it'd be any. I don't know if it'd be watchable. It just might be too bad, but I don't know how Keanu Reeves pulls it off. You know what I'm saying? People love Keanu Reeves. But what is that performance? I just don't get it.
I don't get it either. He just sounds he's got a speech impediment. I don't know. Like something's wrong with him. Maybe he was, hardened by life. And I don't know what that feels like. So I don't get it. Maybe I would sound also like I have no conversations with anybody in this world. And when I finally do speak, I sound, yeah. I mean, this dude kills me. It kills me.
He doesn't talk much, so I guess.
I found out how many words he has in the movie.
Let me guess. I'm gonna say 231.
Not too bad of a guess. 380.
Oh my god, dude! I was gonna say 350 at first. I was gonna say 350.
He has 380 words in this movie.
Damn.
That's nothing. He got paid. Well, I guess I was gonna say he got paid all this money just to say that, but his fighting alone, he deserves more money than whatever he got, because that's impressive.
Yeah,
that's
he
very
puts
impressive.
Tom Cruise to shame.
Yes.
Yeah, he puts Tom Cruise to shame with the stunts he's doing.
Oh, for sure, sure.
I know Tom Cruise is like mega famous for doing his own stunts and whatnot, doing a lot of his own stunts. But man, Keanu, it's nuts. That roundabout car action scene is
that was awesome.
How did they do that? I don't know how much of that was CG. That's probably where the most CG was at in this whole movie. But it's dark, so it's kind of hard to tell if there's about the CG.
From what I could tell in like some of the behind the scenes stuff I kind of read about, it was there wasn't that much CG. Some of the front of the cars were green screened, but not all the cars, just some of the cars were green screened, and that was about it. So I don't know. Doesn't look like a lot, which makes it even more impressive.
Yeah.
But him in that scene where he's drifting his car in a circle while trying to load his gun and still driving and shooting, and then that was awesome. That was my favorite scene in the whole movie.
I'm glad you like that.
That was awesome. Oh my gosh. And, I like cars. I don't really know them by name, but I like cars. I like fast cars. I like muscly cars.
What was he driving?
He was driving a 1971 Plymouth Cuda, which you said, was he driving a Mustang? Another Mustang? And then
No, I said Chevelle. And then
you said the Mustang first, then you said Chevelle, and then you said, I think, a Camaro.
Oh yeah, when I saw the car, I took back Mustang because
Yeah.
Mustang.
When you saw it come up, you were like, "Oh, is that another one?" And then you mentioned like two other cars, and then it's funny because we looked up those cars and they all look exactly the same.
If you didn't grow up with those, it's crazy how the Chevelle, the Charger, the Challenger, the Nova, the Plymouth, the Cuda, the Mustang. It's fucking hilarious how similar those cars look.
Yeah. And this car was doorless. So that was awesome.
Yeah.
How many, car scenes do you have where you're missing both car doors while trying to do all this other shit at once? And not just driving straight, loading a gun. You're turning in a fucking circle, loading a gun. So, that was awesome. And kudos to him for... It
looks like a big flex on doing his own stunts. It's... The door off the car is a big flex. It's fucking cool.
Maneuvering all that? Oh my god. Like, that's impressive. I'm impressed. I wish I could do that.
It's hard, it's a hard thing to say that, but that's probably the most impressive choreographed thing to ever happen in movies.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. It's just fucking unbelievable when you see that. It puts so many other movies to shame. This is not an expensive movie to make.
It puts so many other car movies, fast car movies, whatever car movies to shame. And this isn't even... It's
not even a car
movie. It's not... I love it.
It's nuts. John Wick has got to have some kind of crazy influence on action movies moving forward.
Oh, it has to. It has to.
Because, I know Keanu is part of, this other revolutionary, set of movies, The Matrix or whatever, but I'm sorry, you guys, but I have a hard time believing The Matrix has had that much of an influence on anything. What do you think?
Oh, Don't get me started on The Matrix.
The Matrix.
Don't even get
It's
me
not
started.
good.
It's. Do I dare say it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen? I don't know.
No, The Fifth Element is the worst movie ever made.
That movie is the worst. Oh my god. And I like what's her name? Resident Evil chick. Mila
Jovovich.
Yeah, I like her. And I love Chris Tucker, in all the Rush Hour movies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else he's in, but definitely he's in Friday.
Oh yeah.
But god damn, this movie just
The movie sucked.
And it's funny because I've told you this before. My uncle loves those two movies, The Fifth Element and The Matrix.
It's weird. That's weird.
And he loves the Resident Evil movies.
They're both terrible.
Okay. Those
are guilty pleasure movies.
Yeah.
The Matrix can be a guilty pleasure movie for people. That's fine. And Fifth Element, that's fine. But there's no.
But don't say they're the greatest movies.
You can't.
Yeah.
How embarrassing to die on the hill to defend those as great movies. I can't. I need some kind of dissertation defending The Matrix. That's it. That's all I want. And I'm gonna read it or watch it if it's a video essay, and I'm gonna think about it. I'm open-minded to changing my mind on that for sure.
Well, I mean, you bringing up The Matrix. Apparently, John Wick 4 was supposed to release. The original release date was in 2021, which is the same time The Matrix Resurrection came out. So, I was reading about how Keanu Reeves was training for both movies at the same time. So that was funny.
Yeah. Well, Resurrection's much better than the other Matrix. Much better.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
That's funny. Yeah, I wonder what happened because...
I mean, they're saying because of COVID. So I don't know. I mean, Resurrections came out. Same, 2021, so...
I call bullshit on because of the COVID.
Let's just blame it on COVID.
Yeah, I think they got a little ambitious with how fast they could get it out. Because that's, for one, let's just think about this. The first John Wick came out in 2014. The second John Wick came out in 2017. That's 3 years in between. And then 2 years, John Wick 3. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds...
Another 2 years, 2021. Okay.
That sounds plausible.
They did it once. I don't know. I think that's a little... I think they got a little lucky getting that out in 2 years, to be honest. I mean, I admire the try, but the fact that it came out 2 years later than expected tells me, no, sir. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's funny though. That's cool. That's cool. I forgot about the new Matrix. I forgot that came out. Yeah, so he makes his way to a specific church. I think he's headed in Paris. He's fighting his way there, and it still continues to be fucking amazing. Every single sequence continues to be, I mean, for action films, 10 out of 10. For character-driven movies, maybe not 10 out of 10, but it's just fucking unbelievable. This movie is unbelievable. So he makes his way, I guess. Is there a big sequence between the roundabout bit and the going up the hill bit?
Yeah, it was awesome. The where he's in that, it's not a house, that building looking thing, but we get that point of view with the rooms. That was awesome.
Yeah. That was awesome. How the fuck did they do that? Did they build all that out? I don't even know.
I don't know how they did that.
Did they make a roofless whole floor of rooms? That was unbelievable. That was awesome. I forgot about that. I didn't forget about that. I forgot that was in that part. Oh my god, dude. That's when him and Mr. Nobody have a moment.
Heart to heart.
Which is just fucking awesome. He saves that dog.
Mm-hmm.
If only there was a John Wick to save his dog. In the first movie, he didn't want him to go through that pain again.
Yes.
He doesn't know where Mr. Nobody's been. Mr. Nobody's all obviously trying to run away, from who he is. He's Mr. Nobody.
That was awesome.
And so he plays the game, and he pulls a fast one over Mr. Nobody and wins his heart. It's awesome. It's awesome. And it's over a dog. They deliver on this Mr. Nobody being kind of the new younger John Wick in such a great way. They could have botched that so easily. But man, it's so good. It's so good. Because the only bit between them I don't love is, I think, when they first meet, really. When he's like, "Oh, the bounty's not high enough," you know. I don't dislike it, but there's nothing there that I really like. He just kind of flexes his quickness killing that guy behind John Wick.
Yeah.
But that's I guess the ground floor with them too, and then it just fucking keeps going. It's awesome. It's awesome. I forgot about that. Yeah, then I guess they got that drone out.
Yeah,
and
possibly.
They went over this fucking crazy set they made. Oh my god, dude. And then some of the editing there was fucking amazing. Amazing. Like when at the tail end of that sequence where him and Mr. Nobody, John Wick and Mr. Nobody, are about to go head to head a little bit. You see them, they're on like opposite sides of the wall, and then it cuts to John looking around the corner, and he's exactly there. He's exactly where you'd expect him to be. It's just like, I mean, yes, when you're watching it, that's how, like, it's obvious it should be that way, right? But that's hard to get, when you're doing all these takes and stuff, right? But I was just like, it's genius. It's so good. Fucking believable.
Yeah.
That bit was so crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a favorite scene, but it's definitely impressive.
Yeah. Just crazy. It's not super crazy, like cinematically, in the sense that it's crazy compositions and how the camera kind of tells a story and stuff, but how it's capturing the moment is fucking just nuts, which is, I guess, telling the story at the same time. It's just not through symbolism and composition per se.
Yeah.
So it's sick. I hope John Wick wins all kinds of awards. John Wick 4. I hope it gets nominated for all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
man.
For sure.
If Maverick's great. Top Gun Maverick is awesome. But if Top Gun Maverick can get nominated for shit, man, John Wick. It's so good. So good. I can't believe how good John Wick 4 is. I can't believe it.
Yeah, and speaking of that dog, I was really curious about the animals in this film. I mean, really all films. That's probably something I'll look into in films that have animals. Especially after we watched, was it The Ring, where it's that horse and they're on the boat and it like falls over and dies. And I mean, it's an older movie, not too much older, but it's an older movie. And that horse looks so real, so I was very curious, and we looked it up, and
it is,
but
until it hits the water.
Yeah, until it hits the water. So I was looking into the animals of this film, and the horses are real, but they don't do anything crazy with them, so
yeah,
that's okay. But the dog apparently the dog is played by 4 different dogs.
That makes sense.
So that makes sense.
He's in it quite a bit, so.
But the dogs are also in John Wick 3. So they have the whole cast come back.
all 4 of them?
I don't know if it's all 4 of them, but definitely some of them.
Yeah, I don't remember the...
And it's the lady, Halle Berry. I don't remember her character name. And she's got those 2 German shepherds.
It's her dogs.
It's her dogs, yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I forgot about Halle Berry.
So I just thought that was kind of cute. That, even they came back to
That's
John Wick
awesome.
4.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
They're fucking well-minded dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know how they get those nut chomping down scenes.
Yeah, that'd be...
Because I'm sure, you see all kinds of videos online about dogs being trained to do shit like that, and, like, the proper people can, handle what's happening, and the dog will behave and stuff. So I could see, I think all that must have all been real. I don't think any of that was CG. Didn't look fake to me, that's for sure.
I mean, that'd be so cool. to watch. You know how that happens?
Yeah.
That'd be so scary if if something went wrong and the dog didn't listen. I mean, I guess that's why the dogs came back. They did a good job.
They did a good job. They made that money.
Good job, dogs.
That's cool.
Yeah, but after that scene, after that sequence is the stairs, which again, fucking awesome.
Yeah. I just remembered one thing I didn't like about that ending Paris sequence was you know how the ladies are doing their thing up in wherever the fuck they are. I guess in Paris we see that they're actually in the Eiffel Tower, where they're putting in the numbers, they're putting in the contracts to get John Wick or whoever, and eventually it's that one girl who's on the radio who's putting music on and, like, you know, saying where John Wick is at and stuff. We wouldn't have had the same sequence without her, because she was letting everybody know, you know,
Yeah.
like he's out by the baguette place getting his baguette on, but I didn't like her. I didn't like her doing that. Like, I liked what would happen after she would say whatever she said and put the music on and stuff, but I didn't like her saying what she was saying and then putting the music on. I didn't like that. But it wasn't enough, you know, it didn't bother me that much. I was just like, how many times is it going to pop up? You know, I didn't like that they were...
Did it feel like another moment where it was kind of spelling out what was happening?
No, it felt, I don't know, like those girls are, I like that they didn't talk, really. I like that when they talked, they were on the phone. I know she's on the radio. She's still, like, kind of communicating in the same way. But they're very mysterious, and they were giving us a little too much personality there, I think.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like, it felt off. They felt off. I don't want that from them. I want
the mystery.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a little weird to me. That's not bad. That's, you know, that is such a nitpick in this movie.
Yeah.
This movie is almost perfect. If this movie was a little bit more dramatic, it's kind of funny to say, but if it was a little more character driven, this movie would probably be in my top 20 movies ever.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
Yeah, that's probably true. So we get to the stairs. This is when our guys start. I guess first of all, he's running up the stairs, killing all these guys. Gets fucking knocked down the stairs.
Oh my god.
Which is just the craziest thing.
That was hilarious.
And that's one of those things I feel like could have been so fucking stupid, but it was so not stupid. Oh my god, it was not stupid. It was so cool, and you felt for John, and you were just like, what?
My mouth was open.
I know,
the whole
right?
time he was rolling down. And I was like, no.
I can't believe how many risky angles they fucking took here, and it was just so fucking good. I can't believe it. And then he gets knocked down a little bit, and you're like, oh shit, is he gonna go back down all again? Wait, did he?
Yes.
The second time?
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
All the way down. And then our boy Kane is like, I'm gonna help you, John.
Yeah. And then Mr. Nobody's helping from afar, and we have this. I guess you should have seen that happen, and you should have been able to anticipate that to some degree.
Yeah.
Because did you?
Yes.
Did you expect all three of them to work together at some point?
Yeah. Especially after he saved his dog. I was like, okay. After that, I was like, okay, somehow these three are gonna work together.
That's true. Yeah. I guess I felt the same. Nothing felt quite right until it was happening. I didn't feel like we were at the right moment for it to happen, and then it started happening. I was like, oh shit, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they get up there before sunrise, and you're like, I mean, they have to get there before sunrise, or John has to get up there before sunrise because it's his movie, right? But I mean, there's a moment there you're like, I'm not really sure if he's gonna get up there before sunrise. Like, what the fuck? Are they actually gonna take this away from him?
Yeah, I was like, oh no, Winston is dead.
Winston's dead. John's gonna be fucking dead here in just a second. Maybe, I don't know. I don't even know if John's gonna be killed. I don't know if they can kill him. And then they get up there together, and then they get up there, and it's like they're working their way up there, and they have to fucking fight each other for the third time? Is it the third time they're fighting? Or is it just the second?
I think it's just the second.
Well, they're kind of... I guess they work together at the Berlin, sort of. Even though he goes on his own and fights Killa, and Mr. Nobody and Kane are kind of fighting side by side.
Mm-hmm.
But they're all kind of working together in that moment, too.
Yeah, but they're not trying to kill each other.
Yeah, but they're not trying to kill each other. They're also not working together out of working togetherness.
Mm-hmm.
They're just trying to fucking not get killed.
Yeah.
So they're just kind of inherently working together by proxy and not, you know what I mean? There's no camaraderie happening here. There's no cooperation.
It's just survival.
Yeah. And it just happened to be side by side.
But they fight for the last time.
They fight for the last time in a showdown, a old way duel, because the Marquis is a coward and can't fight his own fight.
Mm-hmm.
Nominates Kane. They have to shoot each other. I guess they're obviously trying to not kill each other. I think. I don't know. I don't even know, actually. They're not trying to kill each other. And then at the end, John doesn't shoot at all. Falls down.
He takes it.
He fucking takes it. And then, he's hoping the Marquis walks over to do the job because, of course, he is. Then John fucking kills him. It's awesome.
That was awesome.
It was awesome.
I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't either. And I expect all kinds of shit in the movie.
That's true.
I was not. This movie just had me on the edge of my seat, like so few movies do. This movie, unbelievable. And then you don't even know what the old guy's gonna say, Santa Claus guy. Like, you're not even sure what he's gonna fucking say. Did they break the rules? I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't know the old rules.
Yeah. You're waiting.
And then he's like, all right, John, you're free to go. All right, Kane, you're free to go. You can go hang out with you can go reconnect with your daughter. All right, you got your hotel back, Winston. And you're like, what's the catch? And there isn't one. And then John, starts to walk down the stairs and he falls over. And you're like, oh shit, he's going to fall down the stairs again. But he didn't. And then the next scene is fucking John Wick's grave. And it says, loving husband.
Loving husband. Which is what he wanted it to say.
I didn't know that was actual foreshadowing.
I know.
I didn't know John Wick was going to die.
I was sad. I teared up. I didn't cry. No tears rolled down these eyes, but they were glossy. I was so sad.
Yeah,
so sad.
I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it.
I know.
I can't believe.
I feel like they're gonna make him come back somehow.
Well, there's all kinds of theories out there that he's not actually dead.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like, it kind of makes sense. He's not the youngest. Maybe he doesn't want to do another John Wick movie. And this is a great movie to go out with a bang. But John Wick doesn't die. He doesn't. He's immortal. He's unstoppable. So.
But the only freedom off this train that they're all on, this career that they just so willingly take part in, is through death. And you see that echoed at the very, very end with the post-credit. There's no being free in this world. There's
no happiness in this world.
Well, thank you for watching John Wick Chapter 4 with me.
It was a great movie. I recommend it. Go watch it. Well, I guess, is it still out in theaters? Probably, right?
It's still in theaters. I see showtimes right here.
All right. Go watch it at the movie theater. Go find it somewhere.
You can
free.
buy it. Yeah.
Go buy it on Amazon.
I think it's going to start streaming in like a week.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So it will be available to rent. Wait, it's going to be renting. I guess it's already streamable, but you will be able to rent it, I think, in a week.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, man. Best movie of the year so far. What do you think? Hard to say. Is Mario the roadblock? What's the roadblock? What do they need? What do these movies need to get through? What does Barbie need to get through? What does Meg 2 need to get through?
Definitely
John Wick, I guess.
Mario, John Wick, and Dungeons and Dragons. I'm gonna put it up there.
Okay. Nice.
Are those the top 3? I guess most grossing
No, not even close.
this year.
Yeah, not even close.
Oh, okay. I thought Mario was the
No,
top.
just Mario is
Okay.
the top grossing.
And then
The other two are no.
oh, okay.
Yeah, John Wick not even close. Well, I guess John Wick's like number 6, but that's
pretty close.
Yeah, that's probably gonna drop. I assume he'll probably end up being in the top 15, 14,
Alright.
15 area after this summer months kind of roll by, because we're about to get some blockbusters in quotes. I don't know if Indiana Jones is a blockbuster.
No.
I don't know if Transformers is a blockbuster, but we will see about those. Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons is even further down. It's like number 20 or 25. It didn't make any. It made decent money, but I think it only made like 225.
Yeah, I don't know what the site is that you look it up at.
I'll read it to hear you live. John Wick's at number 5 at 431 million. And then, Dungeons and Dragons is a little higher than I thought, but it's sitting at 208 million. So that's going to be...
Number what?
Dungeons and Dragons number 8.
Number 8, okay.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's...
They're not too far. Not
yeah,
too-
John Wick will hold up a little bit more. Obviously, it's double Dungeons and Dragons, but Dungeons and Dragons, yeah, is not going to stand a chance after the summer. Barbie's going to make more money than Dungeons and Dragons, I think.
Which one?
Barbie?
Yeah, definitely. Everyone's waiting for Barbie.
Yeah, it's going to be I think it's going to be a pretty big one. I think that's probably going to be a 700 million, 600 million. I think it's going to be pretty big.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing on Mario. I don't think anything's going to take Mario this year. 1.3 billion isn't the craziest number we've had. Obviously with Spider-Man and Endgame and Avatar and stuff, but I mean, it's a billion first of all. I think that's a lot, but
yeah,
I don't think there's anything lined up that's gonna.
What about the second one? What's the top 3?
The top 3 are number 1 Mario, number 2 Guardians at 752 million. It's plateauing, but I don't think it's gonna reach 1 billion.
Okay.
I think it might reach 900.
All right.
I don't think Guardians is gonna break it. And then Fast and Furious, or Fast 10 or whatever, is at 527. Those movies are big. I don't know if you know that. They make a lot of money.
Yeah, they're big, but all right.
And then Ant-Man at 476 million,
God.
which is terrible. They probably lost money on Ant-Man actually, which is crazy. It's just, I mean, there's several Marvel movies that have probably lost millions and millions of dollars, and then John Wick is at number 5, and then Creed is at number 6, Creed 3.
Yeah,
and then number 7 is, I was gonna get to Little Mermaid at number 7 already.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
do we get a hint?
Hint at the next movie?
Yeah.
The hint is gold, like The Rock, gold.
John Wick and gold.
When I gave away too much.
Well, you can cut that out.
No, I'm just kidding. Take care, guys.
Goodbye.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Filmistines. Thanks for tuning in and joining us on our cinematic journey. We hope you enjoyed our discussion and gained some new insights and perspectives on the world of movies. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform, especially Patreon. And follow us on social media for more film-related content. We love hearing from our listeners, so if you have any feedback, suggestions, or movie recommendations, or book recommendations, please feel free to reach out to us. Until next time, keep watching and keep loving the magic of movies. This is the Filmistines signing off.